Alexander Hernandez takes on Diego Ferreira this Saturday on the main card of UFC Noche. And this fight was kind of thrown together recently. Diego Ferreira was supposed to fight last month against Bobby Green. Bobby Green had to pull out. So Alex Hernandez is stepping in to take this fight. He recently fought back in August. I think it was the same card they're supposed to fight on. Got a knockout over Chase Hooper. So making a quick turnaround in this one, taking on the veteran and Diego Ferreira. So I think this is going to be a really good fight. Alexander Hernandez, 32 years old, 5'9", with a 72-inch reach and 17-8 in his career. He's athletic, explosive, one of those very well-rounded guys. You know, decent striker, decent kicks, good left hook, switches stances mid-combo, effective from both stances, moves very well, has good footwork. Has good takedowns as well, good wrestling, 71% takedown defense, jiu-jitsu black belt, comes from a wrestling background, really good cardio. Overall, very well-rounded. You know, not a lot of huge holes in the game of Alexander Hernandez, honestly. But taking on Diego Ferreira, who's 40 years old, 5'9", with a 74-inch reach and 19-6 in his career. So these guys are going to be the same height. Ferreira's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage. He's going to be 8 years older. But Diego Ferreira, you know, he's an absolute dog. You know, good boxing, straight, crisp combos, good power, good teep kicks to the stomach. Has a really good chin, can take a shot, very durable. Great scrambling ability when things go to the ground. You know, he's had some back and forth, really fun fights against Gregor Gillespie, Mateusz Rumbetsky, Mateusz Gamrot. You know, he was having a lot of success in that fight before he broke his rib. But tons of experience, really good resume in the UFC. So I'm gonna go with Diego Ferreira in this one. You know, I think he's the better submission artist. Has really good takedown defense and scrambling ability. He does a really good job of not accepting bottom position if it does go to the ground, even though he does have a very active guard and, you know, a lot of finishing potential off of his back. I think if this does go to the ground, he's just the better grappler overall. I think he's got more finishing potential on the feet with his hands. He's maybe not the better, more technical striker than Hernandez, but very good on the feet. And I think he's got a better propensity to land damaging shots and land fight-ending blows than Alexander Hernandez, in my opinion, who did look good in his last fight, but that's Chase Hooper, pretty much known for his grappling. You know, he's had ever-improving hands, but hasn't been the best striker as of late. So Hernandez has looked good as of late, but if you look at his resume, again, Chase Hooper, who's still very green, kind of a one-trick pony at this point in his career. Kurt Hollabaugh, Austin Hubbard, like these guys are, you know, I hate to say it, they're very good, they're very well-rounded, but they haven't had the most success in their careers either. Lost to Damon Jackson, Bill Aljo, Billy Quarantillo, so just been kind of 50-50 as of late. And I just think Diego Ferreira, he's more dangerous everywhere, not afraid to mix it up on the feet, will shoot takedowns, will keep you guessing, will look for submissions, isn't afraid to go to the ground. I just think he's tougher. I think he's got more of the gritty fighter approach to things, whereas I think Hernandez, I think he's more of an athlete. You know, I think in the UFC you have guys that are really good athletes, but when it comes down to bite down on their mouthpiece and really get after it, you don't really see that. And I think you see that in Diego Ferreira, who's you know, along with being a very good athlete, he's very gritty and a very tough dude who's going in there to hurt you. So I just see Diego, you know, digging deep when things get tough, when the fight's not going his way, taking a shot to deliver one, having the better just fighter's mentality, honestly. So both fighters are kind of 50-50 as of late. Over the last few years, they've been trading wins and losses, but for Ferreira, he's fighting the better competition. He's had the better performances in my opinion. So I just don't think there's anything that Alexander Hernandez brings that Diego Ferreira hasn't seen before. I could see for Hernandez kind of on the back foot, moving laterally, picking his shots, kind of squeaking out a decision win over Diego Ferreira. I don't think he's going to KO him. I don't think he's going to get the better of him on the grappling. So I think that his game plan needs to use his lateral movement, use his footwork, you know, use his defense to kind of pick at Diego Ferreira and land shots in order to win. Whereas Diego Ferreira, I think he's going to be the one pushing forward, going to be the aggressor, not going to be afraid to overcommit and throw a lot of power. I don't think he's going to be afraid that Hernandez is going to come underneath him and take him down. I think if he does, he's going to be able to scramble back up or hunt for submissions, things like that. So I think Diego Ferreira gets this one done. I could see him getting it finished, but regardless of the finish, I do think he gets the win. Thanks.